Problem solved, brother. What do you want to ask me today?
How's your... I don't know. How's your menstrual cycle, Bob?
Flowy. It's not the same as it used to be. Like it used to be blow dryer, and now it's like air drying.
So, did you hear about how they found classified documents at Biden's house?
I did, yeah.
Well, I guess weeks before they found it, the National Archives, who are in control of documents like that, claimed that there was no missing documents. Which is fishy.
Yeah, it's weird. But his Corvette's in a locked garage, so.
What?
It was like the documents were fine because my Corvette's in a locked garage.
What do you mean?
Exactly. I mean, if you don't think that makes sense, I mean, that's what he said. He says that stuff all the time now.
Is that really what he said?
Yeah, they were questioning him about it, like, why did you have classified documents in your garage? Oh, well, my Corvette's in a locked garage.
You made that up.
No, that's a real thing. You can find it.
Wow. I guess the question then becomes, should classified documents leave the White House anyway?
I want to know, like, what's anybody doing with documents? Like, when's the last time someone handed you documents? It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it must be digital at this point.
Like, what are they talking about, like, the Korean, I don't know, they're talking about, like, North Korea or something like that? And they hand you, like, paper?
Maybe it's safer.
Shoot me an email or something.
Maybe it's more secure to not put it on the webs.
Maybe. You'd think they could figure something out.
They must have their own cybersecurity system that's just top notch where they could do that.
You'd hope so. Then it'd be probably more transparent for, like, committees, like secret committees, to see what you're doing. So if you're like in a high position, like a senator, a congressman, or president, and they want to audit you to see what you're freaking up to, it'd probably be easier to audit if you used all digital. That would be a freaking cool job, being like a government auditor.
Who requests the audit? The government? Is there anybody even more powerful?
I mean, it's probably people from the opposing party, which is kind of why I think we should get rid of the multi-party thing. Because it's never like a Republican's investigating a Republican or a Democrat's investigating a Democrat. It's always like, the Republicans are after me, or the Democrats are after me, or whatever.
So you're telling me it's government is reporting on government? Makes sense.
Seems like a huge money sink. Especially if, I feel like some of it too is like, sometimes the Democrat member and the Republican member are kind of playing together and on the same team. And they're like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, but you should investigate me, because if you investigate me for a couple of years, you can make a lot of money just pretending to investigate me. And then in the end, just be like, yeah, I guess he didn't do anything wrong. I wonder if anything like that happens.
Where they tell them what strings to pull?
Yeah. That's
I don't know. I just have a feeling that they don't get along, and honestly, it's probably better that way because if they were on the same page about everything, I feel like we'd be fucked. We would just head straight down whatever path was in the government's sight. It's almost beneficial to have
them squabbling all day.
Yeah, well, I don't know if beneficial is the right word, but less detrimental anyway, because it gives them time to actually reflect and hopefully come out with the right answer, even though it seems like they never do.
I think a major problem is, like, regardless of the party, they're like, we want to raise money for something good. They want to do something good. Like, we want to give all the schools 15% more so that they can have more science clubs or more STEM programs. And then in, like, fine print below it, they always put something shady, like, and $15 million for a birdhouse. It's like, you want $15 million to go to a school and the equal amount that's going to the school to also go to help feed birds around the area?
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, no, that's stupid. And then, what, you don't like children? You don't like children? You're like, no, I don't like a $15 million birdhouse. No,
for sure.
Things like that bug me.
Well, that's because nobody usually reads the fine print, especially us. Like, not that we get handed these documents explaining what they want to do. I guess that's why we elect people to vote on behalf of our state. Or on behalf of us, anyway.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. Whenever you vote in your town, they always have questionnaires like, do you think we should give this amount of money to this program? And they're not going to tell you the full scale of what everything's going to on the ballot, but if you look up what the actual bill's about, more often than not, there's like just little tiny things in there, like $600,000 for transportation, so that they'll like buy a company car or something for the, I don't know, just little things add up. So you're like, why is it going to cost $2 million to put in a stop sign? Well, we got to buy a truck, then we got to buy a team, then we got to buy a post hole digger, I was like, why don't you just hire someone that already has that stuff and pay him like $1,000?
No, we can't
do that. Anyway, that's the fucking government, bro.
Unfortunately, I don't even think it's necessarily like lying as much as like deception. Like, let's keep everybody distracted and keep the fine print fine. And we can get away with a lot of stuff.
That's probably good. Where's my wah-wah? If you were ever arrested, what do you think would be the crime?
Theft. It's probably the only thing I could see myself doing.
Stealing something?
Yeah. Not that I would do it, but it's the closest crime to something I could pull off.
Yeah, definitely not now. If you could go back in time as a teenager, would you steal stuff? Like if you knew, like, if you get caught as a kid, you're just gonna get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I don't know. I got in trouble for vandalism when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got in trouble for vandalism.
So you're not saying you didn't do vandalism, you just never got caught.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
We used to do graffiti when we did parkour and stuff.
I didn't actually do graffiti. I just broke windows in somebody's house.
Oh, yeah, that'll get you.
Yeah. And I just made that sound like a breaking and entering, but it was like a condemned house that somebody owned, and the front door wasn't even on the hinges. It was just laying on the floor inside. If this paints a picture of how shitty this house was.
This is a shitty house.
It was
They're gonna tear it down.
Disgusting house. Yeah, it wasn't. You can't even call it a house. It was just rubble. and we threw rocks through the like 3 remaining windows that weren't broken. And then the state troopers got called because we were vandalizing this destroyed house.
Wow.
So a bunch of state troopers showed up and gave us all pee-pee slaps. We had to go to court for it, pay a big fine.
Pay a big fine for a shit house?
We paid a big fine, and they're like, we're going to fix those windows with the money. And then they condemned the house and tore it down.
We snuck into a condemned building, and like we thought we were going to be the only ones in there because it was like 2 a.m, pitch black. We had to sneak in, and we're wandering around, and then there's like a homeless dude taking a nap inside of it. That freaked us out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Me and my buddies were going through a park in Lewiston one time. It was like 11 at night, 11 at night. And why we were doing it, I don't even know. We were just goofing off, having a good time. And we saw 2 homeless dudes boning on a park bench. And we were like, wow, this is our cue to get out of here.
Was one of them in a dress and one of them not in a dress?
I don't even remember, to be honest. It was just dark. And 2 dudes grunting on a bench together. And we were like, there's not enough room for 2 dudes to sleep on that bench. Something else is going on here.
Nice.
So we hightailed it out of there, for sure.
That's freaking hot.
It was something. That was my spank material for the next year.
Yeah, just thinking about those 2 guys just going at it.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Kept that right in the old memory bank.
So, you ever just go back to the bench and just, like, lick the seat or anything like that?
Only once.
Yeah.
No, it just does come up in conversation every so often between us. Us guys that witnessed the event.
Do you remember the old time when those 2 old men were just banging on the bench? Brings back memories.
Yeah. Back in the day when we were smoking K2 and thought we were cool.
Yeah.
Remember K2?
No.
It was like a synthetic weed. It was supposed to be like an incense burner, but kids were smoking it and it got you fucked up.
Oh. When's the first time you do stevia?
Never even.
Wait, is stevia sugar?
I don't know.
Maybe that's sugar.
I think it's sativa?
Sativa, yeah. That's
I didn't do anything crazy. K2 and marijuana are about the 2 craziest things that I've ever done.
That's crazy.
And then meth. But
yeah, given. I mean, you're in construction. So.
No, I didn't do that.
Nobody. No. Your teeth are too good.
Yeah. I don't get that meth mouth.
That meth face? Meth face is a thing. That's where they all kind of morph into the same creature. Like a reverse golem, like small little eyes.
Yeah, like on I Am Legend, all the zombies.
Yeah. I'd imagine if I ever went to jail for something, it would probably be like somebody did something to one of my kids, and I couldn't control myself, and I flipped out and destroyed them.
Well, okay. I didn't know that was an option.
I mean,
because honestly, that just seems like defense / protecting. You probably wouldn't even get jail time unless you just absolutely murdered them. But even then, you'd probably get like nothing for a sentence. I don't consider that a crime. I consider that just being a human.
Well, nowadays, like, if someone's committing a crime and you try to stop them, for some reason you're the one at fault nowadays.
I don't think that applies to molestation or child rape or child endangerment or child harm. I don't know. I'm not going to stand idly by when any of those things are happening.
Oh,
even if it's not my own kid.
Oh, you're just anybody's kid?
Yeah. And I don't think that there would be an opposing... If there's an opposing party to that statement, then fuck them. And they're probably in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because children are innocent. They're just little innocent joys of life.
Little bit innocent.
And if people take advantage of that, fuck them.
Okay, so if not murdering because someone's messing with my family, because we're going to say that's normal. And
yeah,
you might not go
you're
to jail.
talking about self-defense, in my opinion.
Maybe, probably speeding.
That's not even... What are you going 700 miles an hour? You know how hard it is to get arrested for speeding?
So they're never going to catch me. Yeah, I guess you're right. So I'm not going to get caught. Okay. Well, they might catch me on camera.
Still, what are they going to do? Drag you in? They're probably just going to give you a fine. Slap on the wrist. Come on, Bob, think hard.
Think hard. Yeah. Getting arrested. What would I do? You said vandalism, right?
No, I said theft.
You said theft. I could see being a thief.
Yeah, it's probably the best option.
I do have dreams about robbing a bank.
I mean, that's hardcore. That's like taking it to the highest possibility of theft, I think.
Let's talk about robbing a bank first. If you were going to rob a bank, now I'm not saying you should.
Okay.
How would you do it?
A team. I would need a team. I couldn't do it alone.
Ooh, smart.
And I would have to do some research because I'm not sure how I would assemble my team. But I wouldn't want a bunch of I would want the people that are in between the fine line of just bums, like people who don't care about getting caught.
People that maybe you don't know really or don't know you.
Yeah, and
use
then,
fake names.
And then the fine line, the other end, people who are extremely intelligent. So I wouldn't want someone that's so smart that's just gonna hinder me because they think they overanalyze and you know what I mean? Nothing actually ever gets accomplished. I think you would need somebody who's a little bit risky but very smart. And a bunch of those people. I don't think you could do it alone.
Couldn't do it alone.
People you can trust for sure. I mean, I heard about a robbery where they tunneled under the so this bank was in a strip mall setting.
Yeah.
And they rented the building next to it and tunneled into the vault. But the dude who rented the building next to it used his actual name. So that's what I mean. You would need someone who's a little bit smarter than that guy,
wow.
But also smart enough to be able to pull it off. Because I think otherwise they would have done it.
Probably the thing to do would be to snatch ATMs. Just like those guys in those trucks that just drive up to the ATM,
bank robbery though.
Strap a chain around an ATM and just book it.
When you talk about bank robbery, I'm thinking of you're holding up a bank.
Yeah.
Or you're going in secretive into a vault. Those are the only two. When you say ATM, that's you could pull up to a gas station and just hook up a chain to your ball hitch to your truck.
Well, I think usually the bank ATMs have more money in them. I see your point. Okay, how about this?
A brick and mortar place.
What about those?
What I think of.
What about those moving trucks they're full of cash?
Like a Brinks truck?
Yeah, like a Brinks truck.
Aren't there armed dudes in there?
Well, there's usually one guy in the car and then one guy doing all the banking stuff. But if you how many times are they just on their phone, just kind of just on my phone, doodly-doo-doo, doing phone stuff, and there's one guy that the Brink guy left and he was given money, and the other dude was just on his phone, and this guy just saw that, and he just went in and grabbed 2 big stacks of gold coins and just walked away with gold coins.
You're thinking of Groundhog Day.
No.
That's Groundhog Day.
Well, I don't know if that happened in Groundhog Day. No, that happened in
remember
a real life person did that, and then just walked away.
Sure, is this a story you heard? Because that's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I don't remember ever watching Groundhog Day.
It's with Bill Murray. And he gets stuck on the same day, and he just repeats it over and over and over. And he's stuck there so long that he knows the bank route for the armored vehicle, and he knows what they do at every single moment of that day. So he just walks up as they're not looking and grabs them, and was able to walk away without them noticing because he knew exactly what they were going to do.
Wow. No, I hadn't seen that.
I think you're talking about Groundhog.
Maybe it is. You know what? Okay, well, I feel like that's feasible.
Probably is, though. I mean, if you could... They must have a route and a system.
Yeah.
If you could just know what it is, but... Yeah, I don't know.
Too dangerous.
Man, can you imagine, though, getting stuck in the same day? In a loop? What would you do?
Probably first I would be freaked out a little bit, oh my god, this is terrible. And then I'd probably go to work the first couple times, and then I'd be like, you know what? I'm calling in sick.
You probably don't even have to call, because the next day it's not going to matter.
I guess that's true.
I'd just not show up, I think.
How would you know, though, that it doesn't, the day you don't call is the day it stops?
Because you...
I guess that's the reason it's Groundhog Day, because it happens forever.
That is a good point. But if you called in, would you be like, hey, well, you could just look at your phone and tell what date it is.
I'd probably be very naughty. I think I'd be a naughty boy.
You'd be a naughty boy? Like a theft naughty boy, or like a scandalous,
I would just
slinging Willy around naughty boy?
No, not that naughty. I'd probably just like whatever my impulses are at the time. Sometimes I have these urges that I'm just like, oh, I should jump off of that, or oh, I want to kick that person's like cart over, and I would probably just do that, like kick the person's cart over.
Yeah, so you'd go skydiving without a parachute.
Yeah, I'll do all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
and then die and probably wake up the next day.
Do it again.
That'd be a shitty way to find out the day stopped repeating. Is the day that you accidentally killed yourself.
You wake up in the hospital. You're just like, it's not repeating. This is the worst.
Yeah, I broke the cycle somehow.
That would be the worst way to find out that breaks the cycle.
That would be my luck, though.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, I've figured out what the lottery numbers are, and then I play that game for a while, get a bunch of money, and then the day that I don't do that is the day that it comes back and starts the next day finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun for about a week, and then you'd probably be like, wow. You'd be like trying to explain to your wife how you're stuck in this thing, and she'd be like, no, what? No, you're not.
Yeah.
You could do that now. You could go home and be like, this is day 5.
Of the same day.
Listen, I am stuck in this same day, and she wouldn't believe you. No one would believe you.
That'd be funny. I'll try that.
Let me know how it goes.
I'll like do that thing where I pretend I know what she's gonna say before she says it, and then
Well,
like, oh my god.
Let's do a test.
Yeah.
Watch. The kid's gonna jump off the couch right now.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
But before you gotta say, hey, I'll give you $5 to jump off the couch when I say it. And then, yeah.
I think the pork chops are done, and like they're not done yet. And she pulls them out. Oh, they're not done. How did you know? Because they're never done. You got to put them back in.
That's true.
That would be funny. Huh. Why don't you just pretend you're in Groundhog's Day and just live every day like it's your last day, or a day that repeats? Just moving
Because then
forward.
you'd probably just be a naughty boy. You hear that voice squeak? Squeak? Naughty boy.
I would just like
You just hit puberty.
Just like
Snap.
slap that out of your hand.
Yeah, I think the reason why people don't do that is because it's not Groundhog Day. And then the following day, I'd be like, hey, remember that time you smacked the bag of chips out of my hand?
What an asshole.
Thanks for that. And then I'll call you up while you're in jail, and I'll be like, hey Bob, remember that time you thought it was Groundhog Day and you robbed a bank?
I'm like, damn it. Yeah, it's not Groundhog Day. That's true. Fuck. I just think that'd be fun.
Oh, it would be fun. For about a week. And then you would be like, so bored, I think. Alright, maybe not a week. You could probably do a lot of fun things.
For a month, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, you wouldn't be able to go, like, let's assume for a second that you wanted to, like, travel the world. You could only go as far as, like, however far you can fly in 24 hours.
That's true. So you'd want to, like, plan, like, you could get a flight, wake up early in the morning, 2 in the morning, or try to anyway, get on a flight at, like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, try to get to, like, Florida by 8, and then spend the day in Florida. You could do something like that. That's about as far as you're going, though.
My wife and I did that to New York. Because the option was drive there and get a hotel, or just fly there for the day. And so we flew there for the day, and it was way cheaper. It was cheaper than driving. We saved a bunch of time. We got there early in the morning and still did a bunch of stuff.
That's smart. That sounds fun.
Highly recommend.
I should do that with my wife.
I saw Lion King on Broadway.
That'd be fun.
I know. And I'm not a play type of guy.
Simba.
But Broadway was awesome, and you can buy alcoholic drinks there. So we just got a little bit of sloshed on margaritas while we were there.
Was it a musical or was it just the cartoon?
No, it was like it was Broadway. I don't know. They act the whole movie out. So they sing the parts, the musical parts, and then they do the acting. And
That was a good movie.
yeah, Simba dies.
Simba dies?
I hope I didn't ruin anything for you.
Simba dies in the musical?
Wait, who's Simba? The kid or the dad?
Simba's the kid.
Oh, who's the dad?
Mufasa.
Mufasa dies. As you can tell, I drank way too many margaritas.
I guess
at
so,
that thing.
jeez. Mufasa.
All right, I'm going in, Bob.
Alright, calling it a jabba.
Calling it a jabba.
Here's what you gotta do. 1 second. Okay.
And we out.
Make a face in the...